it once again.
Hey, Terry Green here. Hey, hit the subscribe button, hit the like button. Subject coming at you today is NFL and the inconsistency in rules. So, watched every playoff game. Most of them were blowouts. Not super entertaining, but it is what it is this time of year. So, anyway, there's one rule I just, for the life of me, can't understand how it's not called. It's called all year long. Then we get in the playoffs and the flags stay in the pocket. It's called face guarding. So, by NFL rule, if the ball is in the air, the defender has to make an attempt to look back for the ball before making a play on the ball. If not, it's called face guarding, which is a pass interference penalty. All weekend long, I've seen numerous occasions where the defender didn't even make an attempt to look, just put his hands in the air. I believe it was the Chargers game where the ball even hit the defender in the back as the receiver was trying to come back for the ball. 99.9% of the time in the NFL, that would have been called pass interference. But it's not called in the playoffs. So this is what gets me. How many teams had lost games because their defense was hit with a face guarding pass interference penalty, and then we get to the playoffs and all of a sudden it's no longer a penalty? So you're telling me for 17 weeks, because of the bye week, technically a 16-week season, it's a penalty. But then you get the week 18, 19 playoff football, championship football, and all of a sudden it's not a penalty. So here's my thing. If it's not a penalty in playoffs, it shouldn't be a penalty all season long, because there's a lot of teams that probably have lost games behind a face guarding pass interference spot foul penalty. So unless you want to make different versions of pass interference, so like if you want to, fix it, instead of face guarding, meaning not turning for the ball, and the defender makes contact with it first without touching the receiver, maybe you should make it, if it is a penalty, the 5-yard variety instead of a spot foul. So I just don't understand how all season long it's a penalty. You get into playoff championship football and it's not a penalty. It's a short season, right? We only got 16 games. A team can actually lose an opportunity to play in the playoffs with calls like face guarding that are called all season long, and then we get in the playoffs and it's not called. Another thing is this holding stuff. So it was in the Saints game where a lineman was matched up against it was either a linebacker or a safety. But anyway, he didn't grab him, he pushed him to the ground. And they threw a flag and said it was holding. It happened in the Ravens game against Cleveland a few weeks back, where tight end got mashed up on a corner, never grabbed his jersey, just pushed him down. And it's holding because the guy falls. So how many times do we get to see replays where literally offensive linemen got their arms wrapped around the necks of defenders, or grabbing the shoulder pads or pulling the jersey away from their body, and those plays are never called? And then all of a sudden you get a nice run, and all of a sudden the flag comes out and it's holding, and you look back on it and he got pushed down to the ground. So the NFL rule system is so subjective, number one, but I still don't understand. If 16 game schedule, you need every single game, to make it into the playoffs, and then you get in the playoffs and the rules change. So they really need to take a look at that, because if it's not going to be a penalty in the playoffs, then they need to get rid of it altogether, because if face guarding is not a penalty, which according to NFL rules it is a penalty because they don't make any attempt to look back for the ball to make a play on the ball, they're playing the actual receiver, then it should be a penalty all year long. That's my thoughts. If you want to hit the comments below, hit the like button, hit the subscribe, we'll do more subjects like this. But again, NFL got to get it right, because how many teams have lost games on the defensive side of the ball for face guarding, and we get to the playoffs and all of a sudden it's no longer a penalty? It's absolutely absurd rule. Even a casual fan looks at it and be like, I thought that was a penalty. Well, playoff football evidently isn't. So, bottom line, let's get rid of the tic-tac. If holding is holding, you bare tackle somebody, I understand it. But if somebody gets pushed to the ground because a larger man pushed him to the ground, it's not holding. If face guarding is not a penalty in the playoffs, then get rid of it for the regular season. It's no longer a penalty on the regular season, because every game counts in the NFL. So, hit the comments down below what you think about it. Other calls we can talk about, but face guarding